Hello, friends, and welcome to the Particularly Peculiar podcast. I'm your co-host, Christian.
And I'm the other co-host, Taylor.
And how are you today?
I am pretty sick.
Sick.
Yep. How are you?
I'm feeling a lot better. I was sick. I had mentioned last week that I was feeling a little bit under the weather. And then after we recorded that episode, I hit the dirt hard and I was down and out for a couple days, but I'm back and spread it to the rest of my family.
Yep. It was our youngest and then me and now our oldest. So
yeah,
he had to miss his last day of first grade. Poor guy.
Yeah, I know. He was really pretty upset about it.
Yeah, but he's okay.
School.
He's at least excited for summer break. So
right. Yep. So we've all just been taking turns taking care of each other, but we'll get through it. And we have some exciting news for the podcast. And I've been working on a website for us for a little while now. And I'd say I'm about 90% done. But it is published to the world. The world can see. If you go to particularlypeculiar.com, you will find the beautifully handcrafted website for the podcast.
Yes, and it has a nice little prom-like picture of us at the bottom of it. So
yes.
Go see our lovely faces and check out our website.
Yep, and you can find everything you need is going to be on there. All of our social links, our email, you can find ways to listen to the episodes. So we're just going to be directing everybody right there.
Yeah, and it'll also have, I don't know if that's published yet, but if it isn't, eventually we'll have a little spot to submit your stories or your episode recommendations right in there. And you guys, we would love for you to do so. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your creepy, weird, spooky, peculiar stories.
Yes.
And we would love for you to give us some recommendations for future episodes.
Yep.
We have had one recommendation so far, and that is from our lovely friend, Danny Harp.
Yep.
Shout out to our girl.
Woo woo.
We will be getting to that recommendation, I hope, very soon. So, but keep them coming, you guys. We would love to have some interaction with y'all.
Yeah, this whole process has really been awesome. And I've really enjoyed doing the podcast together. Even us sitting down and just talking to each other about these topics, but also, the meat and potatoes of the podcast has been great too. The audio production has really been awesome for me. I love doing that. And now creating the website and all this stuff, it's just been really cool and totally worth it. So
yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
I'm excited.
I just get to sit down and talk once a week. Well, I do research too, but
yeah. Yeah. And then got to deal with I just deal with the editing and the pushing it out and, making sure this episodes are scheduled, but really, really cool. And we're so glad to see people actually listening.
Yes, you guys, you've all been bringing it. You've been listening to every episode we've been putting out, which is fantastic. We actually saw that we have listeners in the UK. We have listeners in Canada. We have
Germany.
Yeah, and that is so exciting to us. I didn't expect to have listeners like in other parts of the world already. So that's fantastic. Yeah. That's amazing. Shout out to those listeners overseas. And of course, our listeners right here in the United States. We love you all. And we are so glad that you're here.
Yes, we are so glad that you are here with us. And it must be because of all of our wonderful content that we have.
That's right. And today we're bringing more to the table for y'all.
More. This one I think will be pretty fun.
I have to quit saying y'all, first of all. First of y'all.
You don't. First of y'all.
Today we are going to be talking about something that is pretty peculiar, y'all.
Yes.
Oh, I did it again. Leave it in. Don't even cut it.
I won't cut it.
It's great. It's great. We are going to be talking about cryptids. So right. Mine is a pretty short little story, and I don't know how many people know about this cryptid. I did not know about this cryptid until I was looking for cryptids to cover. we didn't want to do your, typical run of the mill cryptids, I guess, like the Bigfoot or Loch Ness that seems like everyone has heard about. So the one I am doing, and I am going to go first today because obviously I'm sick. I'm telling a short story. I'm just going to tell mine, get it out of the way. And then Christian is going to, he has a lot more that he dove into than I did.
And I didn't even know that was going to happen.
No,
one that
I just
had picked.
walked in and he had 1,000,000 pages open on Word. And I was like, what? Mine's like 2 pages.
I'm
What?
really, really getting into this.
But you guys, you got to cut me some slack this week, okay? You just got to cut me some slack.
They will.
Okay. So my cryptid it's either pronounced the Ningen or the Ningen.
Okay.
Okay. The legend of this cryptid is pretty new, actually. And I'm just going to say the Ningen because it comes from Japan. And I'm assuming they don't pronounce it Ningen.
Right.
But I guess if you're listening from Japan, tell me if I'm saying it wrong.
Yes.
So the legend of this cryptid is pretty new. The Ningen, meaning human in Japanese, did not become a legend until about 20 years ago. In 2002, the Ningen actually came to life when a Japanese forum website posted that a ship claimed to have seen a creature surface near them, which they originally thought was a submarine, until it actually began to swim away from them. Which, first of all, ew, could you imagine being on a ship, the middle of the ocean, you see something that looks like a submarine, and then it starts like swimming away?
Yeah, at
That's
first
huge.
you're already like, okay, what is this submarine doing right next to us? And then, oh no, it swims. It's a creature.
It's not a submarine. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Then again in 2005, a Google Earth image of the Namibian coast seemed to catch something that looked like a sea creature. Skeptics have said it was just an iceberg. So I am going to post this photo to our Instagram. It does seem to have the shape of how the Ningen is described, which I will get into. But it also does look a lot like the ice that's off the coast.
Okay.
Just kind of farther out into
Right.
the ocean. So, I mean, we'll post it to Instagram. You guys, when you see it on there, comment and let us know what you think. Okay. The next and most recent sighting that I could find was in 2010. Someone had posted a video of underwater life, and in that video, what appears to be a giant head with 2 glowing white eyes and a giant mouth, like a slit of a mouth that looks like it's smiling, can be seen. But it seems to just kind of be resting on the floor of the ocean and looking right at the camera, which is pretty creepy. Some have argued this is a type of eel, while others have said it was just a rock at the bottom of the ocean that they were seeing, which I don't know what giant rocks are down there. Obviously, we don't know. I don't know what giant eels are down there.
Nope.
So both of those are very plausible. But, of course, still some believe that it is a humanoid sea creature of the Antarctic Ocean.
Interesting.
So I know I actually just saw this video on a reel of that same underwater life video before I found this story, which is really weird.
Had you been talking about it already?
No, I hadn't. I hadn't
gosh.
even been researching this yet. So it's kind of like
It knew your future.
it called to me to tell its truth, I guess.
Right.
But it is pretty creepy. But I mean, I could see where that's literally a rock. Like,
Right.
I mean, of course, I don't know.
It's either something crazy
Or
a rock.
it's not. Yeah. So what does the Ningen look like? The best description of a Ningen is a whale-like humanoid creature.
Okay.
So a whale and a human.
Yeah.
Ooh. A Japanese paranormal magazine actually called them Antarctic humans, which honestly, that could be a possibility.
Could be.
A race of humans living in the Antarctic isn't actually too hard to believe because we don't know. I mean, they could have started there, adapted to the weather, to, and if they live in the sea, we don't know that. I mean,
Yeah, we don't. I mean, the ocean is really where we know the least
exactly.
about
What is
lives
it? We
there.
know more about space than the depths of our oceans, which is
Probably.
insane. So I don't know if you guys have heard of conspiracy theories about like an underwater race or things like that, or just conspiracy theories about Antarctica. So, I mean, if you guys know about those types of conspiracy theories, that is a very likely conclusion to come to if that is all real. But again, we just don't know.
Don't know. We're just here to speculate.
It is said to be totally pale white, which makes sense for the region it would come from. Living in Antarctica, everything is white and it has to blend in. It has a whale-like head, but it has a human-like face consisting of those two eyes and the smile slit of a mouth, like I was saying earlier. Ew.
Weird.
I just can't even.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture it as you're describing it, and I'm like, my head's all discombobulated.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I'll have to log into our Instagram.
You'll have to go to our Instagram page.
And see the picture.
Which you can find if you go to particularlypeculiar.com. You'll find our Instagram link.
Perfect.
Oh, wow. Oh, amazing. Anyway, it can have either 2 legs to walk on and fins to swim, or it has a whale tail and arms.
Wow.
So one or the other.
Okay.
Or both. I don't know. Maybe they just kind of, it changes in utero. I don't know. It emerges. Also, I don't know if they're formed in a uterus. Are they?
Oh, yeah.
Do they come out live or are they
Is
eggs?
it an egg?
I don't know.
Or like a tadpole situation.
I have no clue. It has also been said to be anywhere from the size of a human to up to 60 feet long.
Oh my gosh.
So there's just a lot going on
There's some
with this
discrepancies.
thing. Yeah, there's just a lot going on with this thing, which is fine because, of course, we don't know.
But I mean, that's the whole aspect of a cryptid, really, is because it hasn't been, actually proven or like found so that it can be studied. I'm sure, most of them have pretty broad
Some, yeah, some do. And you guys, there's tons of cryptids, but we only hear about the few that are so popular. There's so many. So, I mean, we could definitely do another cryptid episode in the future to kind of find more to dive into like this. Mine, of course, like I said, there's not a lot because we just don't know. We obviously can't go to Antarctica,
Maybe we should.
Maybe we should. Just, you guys, let's start donating so we can, have an expedition. You guys can come along with us so we can search for the Ningen.
Record an episode up there.
So, of course, like I said, we'll definitely add any pictures or videos we can find to our Instagram. There's not a lot. I have to say, I'm not too convinced. What? You're looking at me weird.
Oh, no, that's just my face.
Oh, okay. I have to say, I'm not too convinced about this one. Although, considering the fact that it is in the Antarctic region, like we said, it's not too far-fetched to believe that there could be a cryptid or a different species of animal that we just simply have not found yet.
Right.
Of course, like we said, it costs plenty of money to travel, go on any expedition down there. So there's probably not many people that would pay to go down there just to search for this cryptid that may or may not be there, that looks like this, or we don't know. So it is also said that the Japanese may be monitoring any posts about the creature and they're restricting what comes out about it. Again, we don't know that. That's probably some conspiracy stuff going on there. I don't know how involved the nation of Japan is with the Antarctic. So, yeah, of course, this is all alleged speculation, but
fun.
Cryptids are so fun to talk about and they make for fun episodes because then you can just let your mind go wherever it wants to go. You can literally come up with whatever, conclusions you want to with this one.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's really, really interesting to think of a whale humanoid type
Yeah.
race of creature living in the Antarctic.
Well, and it's also like, is that what a mermaid might be? Like a mermaid, maybe
Right.
it's like all kind of a Ningen.
Which that's a whole nother cryptid.
That is a whole other cryptid, which is
Yeah.
something we could always cover in the future too. Mermaids.
Do mermaids exist?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Well, not you, our listeners.
Oh. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know though either. So we're going on a little bit of a tangent here, but I don't know. Sometimes I see like some whatever proof, quote unquote,
Some pretty compelling evidence.
yeah, of mermaids. And I like to think they exist because I just
Right.
think that would be really cool. Now, do I know if there's proof for that? I don't know. When we do the episode and research a little bit more, we will tell you what we think. So you guys, what do you think about the Ningen? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's a bunch of hooey?
Hooey fooey.
Let me know. All right. I'm passing it over to you.
Okay.
Okay, you guys, it's Christian's turn, but I just want to let you know that I have a cough drop in my mouth. So if you hear me going, that's why. I'll try and keep it to a minimum.
Perfect. The cryptid that I chose has quite a bit of history to it. It's pretty well established, and it's one that comes from the United States. Now, I had heard of this a little bit, but I honestly didn't really know anything about it other than its name. And I picked the Jersey Devil cryptid.
I have heard about this one. I think with the multiple podcasts I do listen to, a few of them have covered this one, but I am definitely excited to hear your rendition.
Yes. So what is the Jersey Devil? In southern...
Wait, can I guess? It's a cryptid.
Okay. I was finally going.
You're leaving that in.
So
Don't cut it.
in southern New Jersey and Philadelphia folklore of the United States, the Jersey Devil, also known as the Leeds Devil, is a legendary creature said to inhabit the forest of Pine Barrens in South Jersey. The creature is often described as a flying biped with hooves, but there are many variations. So a biped is any creature that walks on two legs. The common description is that of a bipedal kangaroo-like or wyvern-like creature with a horse or goat-like head, leathery bat-like wings, horns, small arms with clawed hands, legs with cloven hooves, and a forked tail.
Can I tell you what this reminds me of? Jeepers Creepers.
It is kind of like Jeepers Creepers.
That's scary.
And I didn't think about that
Oh
until
my
you said that.
gosh, that's so scary.
Yeah, the only difference is that he has more of a humanoid head. And these are
Jeepers, Mr. Creepers.
Yes, Mr. Creepers himself has a humanoid head, and these are more horse or goat-like or dragon-like, which is what the wyvern is. So there's a lot of reference to this wyvern looking. There's a lot of reference to the Jersey Devil having a wyvern-like look, which is a dragon that only has two legs, and his arms are kind of like a part of his wings. We'll put some pictures up on our Instagram of this as well. So it has been reported to move quickly and is often described as emitting a high-pitched, blood-curdling scream.
Oh, that's
Awful.
nice.
Terrible. According to popular folklore, the Jersey Devil originated with a Pine Barrens resident named Jane Leeds, known as Mother Leeds. The legend states that Mother Leeds had 12 children and, after finding she was pregnant for the 13th time, cursed the child in frustration, crying that the child would be the devil.
Girl, you know how that happens. Why are you cursing that child?
Yeah, it was not a good idea in hindsight.
Curse your man.
Don't do that either, please. In 1735, Mother Leeds was in labor on a stormy night while her friends gathered around her. Born as a normal child, the 13th child changed to a creature with hooves, a goat's head, bat wings, and a forked tail. Growling and screaming, the child beat everyone with its tail before flying up the chimney and heading into the pines. In some versions of the tale, Mother Leeds was supposedly a witch and the child's father was the devil himself.
I mean, that's probably most accurate.
So, what the fuck? That would be pretty crazy. Now, you're just 1735, chilling in your cabin. You know, mom's going into labor. She just has her friends over there helping her.
Well, there are 12 children.
And then, oh, look, a baby boy. Oh, no, it's a crazy creature that beats everyone with its tail and flies away. Brian Regal, a historian of science at Keene University, theorizes that the story of Mother Leeds, rather than being based on a single historical person, originated from colonial southern New Jersey religio-political disputes that became the subject of folklore and gossip among the local population. According to Regal, folk legends concerning these historical disputes evolved through the years and ultimately resulted in the modern popular legend of the Jersey Devil during the early 20th century. Regal contends that colonial-era political intrigue involving early New Jersey politicians Benjamin Franklin and Franklin's rival almanac publisher Daniel Leeds resulted in the Leeds' family being described as monsters, and it was Daniel Leeds' negative description as the Leeds Devil rather than any actual creature that created the later legend of the Jersey Devil. So that's Wikipedia's description of
Like the history
of the Jersey Devil.
Origin.
Right. So Brian Regal's 2018 publication describes the events that took place in the late 1600s and early 1700s between the Leeds family and other local English settlers. So this all takes place in the place called the Pine Barren, and what is now known as Leeds Point is where this Leeds family was from in the late 1600s and early 1700s.
So that's Leeds Point in New Jersey.
Leeds Point, New Jersey. In 1687, Daniel Leeds, a Quaker and a prominent person of pre-revolution colonial southern New Jersey, published a series of almanacs containing astrological symbols and writings. Leeds' fellow Quakers deemed the astrology in these almanacs as too pagan or blasphemous, and the almanacs were censored and destroyed by the local Quaker community.
Go figure.
Right. But despite the almanac's censorship, Leeds continued to publish more astrological writings and became increasingly fascinated with occultism, mysticism, demonology, and more. In 1716, Daniel Leeds' son Titan inherited his father's almanac business, eventually went on to compete with Benjamin Franklin's popular Poor Richard's Almanac. The competition between Franklin and Leeds grew in 1733, when Franklin satirically used astrology in his own almanac to predict Titan Leeds' death in October of that same year. Titan Leeds replied by publicly claiming Franklin as a fool and a liar. Franklin mocked Titan, saying that the prediction of his death had actually come true, and Titan was just a ghost haunting him. So
The ultimate burn.
Franklin was dissing the Leeds
Rude.
back in the 1700s.
I bet y'all didn't know that Benjamin Franklin was so hilarious.
He's a savage. So it became a running joke, really, that this Titan Leeds was actually just a ghost. And Franklin referred back to this a few times in his almanac. And the Leeds absolutely hated it. It infuriated them so much. But the townspeople and the people of the area already didn't like the Leeds because not only were they publishing these astrological things, which was heresy, but also they were pro monarchy. So this was still back when the country was ruled by Great Britain. And most of the area was wanting to get away from that, but the Leeds family was still very pro monarchy. Sometime during 1728, Titan Leeds began to include the Leeds family crest into their almanacs. The Leeds family crest depicts a wyvern or bat-winged dragon-like creature that stands upright on two clawed feet. Brian Regal suggests that folklore was either created or exaggerated through the Leeds' poor reputation in the Pine Barrens area, which led them being classified as evil and monsters. You combine that reputation with the depiction of their crest, and the Jersey Devil was created. So if you really think about it, it seems like that is probably pretty accurate, that this Leeds family was hated so much in the community, and then they just took that depiction of their family crest and turned it into the Leeds Devil, which also there were articles saying that this Daniel Leeds, who was the father of Titan, was already called the Leeds Devil at that point.
Could you imagine being so hated or looked down on that they're like, you're not even real, you're a ghost?
Yes.
And I don't know.
No, I can't imagine that.
And you're a devil.
But
you're this ugly, weird creature.
Right. And now it's turned into this huge folklore of the Jersey Devil.
And they're just these poor people that were actually real woke for their time. They just knew the truth of the universe.
Yeah.
Poor people.
Look at them now. So sightings have been reported since the late 1700s, with one specific wave of sightings reported in 1909. And this is an excerpt from Wikipedia about this wave of sightings. During the week of January 16 to the 23rd of 1909, newspapers published hundreds of claimed encounters with the Jersey Devil from all over South Jersey and the Philadelphia area. Among these alleged encounters were claims the creature attacked a trolley car in Haddon Heights and a social club in Camden. Police in Camden and Bristol, Pennsylvania, supposedly fired on the creature to no effect. Other reports initially concerned unidentified footprints in the snow, but soon sightings of creatures resembling the Jersey Devil were being reported throughout South Jersey as far away as Delaware and western Maryland. The widespread newspaper coverage created fear through the Delaware Valley, prompting a number of schools to close and workers to stay home. Vigilante groups and groups of hunters roamed the pines and countrysides in search of the devil. During this period, it is rumored that the Philadelphia Zoo posted a $10,000 reward for the creature. The offer prompted a variety of hoaxes, including a kangaroo equipped with artificial claws and bat wings.
So I had to look up and see what $10,000 in 1909 was equivalent to now.
Right.
It is $317,702.20 today.
Oh, nice.
So it's just about there. Rough estimates.
So not only were they offering $300,000 their time, $10,000, but also it said that schools were closed and workers were advised to stay home because they had been having so many sightings in this area. So really just pretty crazy. The Jersey Devil was a pretty big thing. And like I said, there's lots and lots of sightings, all from the 1700s.
I love when cryptids become like a huge deal.
Right.
Like, I love when people are seeing them and it becomes like everyone's scared of it. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's just so cool. Like, could this be a real thing? Could this be a species of animal that we just don't know about? Was it actually some sort of like witchcraft that brought this thing to life and somehow it's still around?
Right.
Maybe it is like Mr. Creepers, like we so fondly call him. Maybe it is like him where he comes back, what, every 30 years
Is that what
to
it was?
feast? I
Yes,
don't know.
that's right.
But maybe that's what the Jersey Devil does. Maybe it
Right.
comes back every so often to, I don't know what it does. Does it feed? Does it come back and just say, hey, remind you that he's still around?
Right. Well, and all the references to this Daniel Leeds becoming more and more involved in occultism and witchcraft and whatever, and then they were like super hated. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that they did, you know, cast some curse or create some creature. Maybe it's their familiar,
Yeah, maybe.
and just to terrorize the area.
Right.
So the area also,
He comes back and he's like, screw you.
yeah,
He's flipping him off with his little Jersey Devil wings.
yeah, his little bat wing things. So the area, the reason it was called the Pine Barren was because it was pretty barren. It was not good for farmland. There was reports of marauders and robbers that lived in the area, so any travelers would be robbed, and so the area just has a really bad reputation. And then a family with a bad reputation, and everything led together to now the Jersey Devil. So that's it. That's my cryptid.
That was a pretty good one. That was fun.
Yeah.
This was a fun episode.
Yeah, that turned into a lot more than I would have thought, but I really enjoyed reading the history about that, especially how the connection between the Leeds family and Benjamin Franklin.
That's so funny.
That is hilarious.
I'm just like, wow. He was so rude.
Yeah.
He was literally like, you're just a ghost. Like,
Right.
how you can't get any more harsh than that.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? You don't even actually exist.
Right.
Like, damn.
Rude.
Damn, Benny.
Well, guys, what'd you think about those cryptids? What are your favorite cryptids? We want to hear it. Tell us. Let us know. If everybody just goes to our new awesome website, particularlypeculiar.com, you'll find all the links to everything you need, including our social media, YouTube, links to our episodes. But if you're listening to this, I imagine you already know where to find our episodes. Make sure to rate, follow, subscribe, and like all the things. You know what to do. But we'll see you again soon. Until next time,
Our peculiar people.